Before we begin, all of us want to express our heartfelt gratitude to Goloka, Lokesh, Rasika Manjari and their wonderful team. I heard there are quite a few of them who have taken up different pieces of putting it all together. So thank you very much. Thank you, Subal Prabhu, and the team of the church here that is helping us host this program. So thank you. It is usually the persons in the background that are not easily seen, but without them, things can't happen. And in our Vedic scriptures, such persons are compared to salt that you can't see salt in your food, but without salt, there is no taste. So we gratefully acknowledge their contributions and for making this possible for us to be with you. So what we're going to do is narrate the episodes in the great Ramayana that led to the Supreme Sri Ramachandra becoming married to his consort Sita Devi. I could sit here and speak on the philosophy of who Rama is and who Sita is, and I think it'll go far beyond the time we have in the church, and we might be kicked out. So for now, we're going to gloss over the philosophy and pay, I guess, more attention in the storyline. In some places we will add a few philosophical concepts because it has ultimately, the purpose is that it is relatable to us. Otherwise, what's the purpose? There is music, there is singing, wonderful decorations, gathering of all of us. And so the presentation, I can assure you, especially when it comes to these three, will be very entertaining. But this is not only entertainment. The purpose is to hopefully somewhere we might feel a draw, an attraction, either for wanting to hear more, wanting to know more, or feel a stronger sense of connection with the Supreme Sri Ramachandra, a little bit better, stronger, or even the awakening of it, in whatever shape or form it awakens for any one of us. That's the objective, that's the goal, and we hope that we are able to convey that through our presentation. We will begin with how the Ramayana actually came into being. It's a work of 24,000 verses that was written by a great sage by the name Valmiki. And believe it or not, that the Ramayana was born out of a curse. Sometimes, or in most cases, nothing good comes out of a curse. But in this case, the most divine work called Ramayana, unbeknownst, was born out of a curse. And we'll share with you and explain as we go along. So this is the gestational verse, or the very verse from which the Ramayana sprung out. The great sage Valmiki, after thousands of years of meditating on and reciting the name of Rama, 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 ages passed by, so much so that an entire anthill grew over him, and yet he was not disturbed, and continued chanting the name of Rama until his guru Narada, the great sage, came and asked him to get up from his seat, and the god of rain, Varuna, showered a fresh rain on him, and since he came out of an anthill, he got the name Valmiki. In Sanskrit, the name Valmika means an anthill. And as he came out, a few days later, one afternoon, he was going towards the river Tamasa for his afternoon bath, and he was appreciating the beauty of the area. Crystal clear waters, birds chirping in full joy, flowers blooming on trees and creepers, bees humming all over the garden, pleasant fragrances wafting through the air. And as he was taking in this beautiful scene, he saw a pair of croucher birds. They're like a crane, a species of cranes, they're called croucher, and these two, taking the environment, were mating with each other. And he found it very somehow charming and pleasing. And as he was gazing at that pair of birds, an arrow passed by his ear and shot the male croucher bird. And the male fell down, beating very painfully, gasping for some air before he dies, and the female started crying loudly, shrieking. Something about the croucher birds is that they only mate with one partner, and that's it. And so the female was crying piteously, and this sage, who had been meditating for thousands of years, his senses fully controlled, found himself in a burst of anger and cursed the hunter. Now, as he uttered this curse, it dawned on him, how is it possible that a person like me, who has been in meditation for so many years, have become a victim of anger? Is it even possible? And why am I cursing the hunter? This is what the hunter does for a living. It is like cursing a software programmer for writing his program, or cursing a carpenter for making a piece of furniture, or cursing an artist for making a piece of art. That's what they do. And so he felt so pained in his heart that he went back to his hermitage and sat in deep contemplation. The primal being of the universe, Lord Brahma, appeared there and smiled at him and said, I know that you are very sad, but I want you to know that I am the one who inspired such a verse to come from you. This, in Sanskrit, sadness or melancholy is called shoka. From shoka came a shloka. Shloka is a verse. And Lord Brahma said, I am the one who inspired you. Now you pay careful attention to it, and within the words you will find the seed of a great work that I want you to accomplish. So the Sanskrit goes, Ma means do not, Nishada, that's a hunter, Pratishtham Tvam, may you never get any glory, not for 2 days or 10 days or 2 years, Agama Shashwatihi, as long as time continues, may you never get any happiness, may you never get any peace. And the reason being, Yat Krauncha Mithuna, a couple, a pair of croucher birds, when they were so absorbed and enamored in each other, Kama Mohitam Avadhi, you killed them. And when he looked at the same verse differently, he found a new meaning. The word Ma is another name for the goddess Lakshmi. She is the mother of the universe, the mother of creation. Nishada means in whom she resides. So Ma Nishada is the name of Lord Venkateswara or Lord Krishna or Lord Narayana, in whose heart she resides. That is Lord Narayana. Ma Nishada Pratishthantvam, may your glory spread into eternity. Because Yat Krauncha Mithuna, there is a crooked pair of beings, of which the male is called Ravana, the demon, the nemesis, the villain, if you will, of this world. Avadhi, you kill him. Kama-mohitam, because he was completely enamored by lust. And he had kidnapped the wives of so many people in the universe. And as the story continues, later he kidnaps Lord Ramachandra's consort Sita as well. And because you came him and freed the world, freed the universe of a great terrorist, your glory shall be spread for eternal time. That's the Ramayana. And so Valmiki became so amazed, that this is a great work I've been asked to do, and he began to write it. The blessing he received was, the Lord Brahma told him is, you will sit down and as you gaze at your palm, you will see in the size of a gooseberry, in Hindi it's called amala, the size of a gooseberry, a screen in which you will see the entire happening of the Ramayana. You will be given the powers to not only see what happened, but also hear what was spoken. You will also get to know the emotions of the people as they are speaking through this entire episode. So he knew the inner movements of everyone's hearts and minds. So that was the first smartphone during Valmiki's time. And so Valmiki wrote this. This entire work is composed of 24,000 verses grouped into 6 kandas or books. And we're going to speak from the very first one. Now this entire work is the great Vedas. Veda means knowledge, and the entire body of philosophy, metaphysics, spirituality, all contained in the body of knowledge called the Vedas. Veda in Sanskrit means to know or knowledge. And in this, we will see the marriage of Sita and Rama for a particular reason. The great Vaishnava teachers have told us that yes, Rama is the Supreme Lord, Sita is his internal potency, that energy that moves and connects every living being back to him. They come here and play out a certain what we call pastime or a role for us to see. Like a few minutes ago, the little girls very beautifully danced to certain verses showing us the activities of Lord Rama for Lord Rama to see. Similarly, Lord Rama and his associates enact their pastimes for us to see our own story. So in this story, a great Acharya tells us the Lord Ram is the Supreme Lord, Ravana is the mind, and Ravana has 10 heads. So they signify the 10 senses, the 20 hands, all are working senses, and how the mind, because he is the king of all the senses, very easily captures all that we see in the universe to think that it is for us. So in one way, in one sense, every being in this world who is not spiritually awakened is a tiny Ravana walking here and there. Because the idea of taking and exploiting that which is available in nature and creation for my own enjoyment, separate from the recognition of the existence of the Lord, is the Ravana mentality. So the marriage of Rama and Sita from a spiritual vantage point is very significant because the consort and the Lord are meeting each other and they're becoming a couple. On a philosophical level, it is to know that each one of us, Sita represents the Atma or the Jiva, each living being that is embodied as a man, as a woman, a tree, an animal, insect, bird, beast, aquatic, whatever that is. But inside each is a living being, and that living being to come and become united with the Lord is the Kalyanam. So it is for all of us. So in one sense, it is a significance of marriage for all of us to the Supreme Lord. So with that as the context, we are going to take you into Ayodhya. Sri Rama, his brothers Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna are all 12-year-old boys. Their father, Dasharatha, one day is sitting down, pensive, thinking, my sons, especially Rama, is already 12 years old. It's time to get him married. How am I going to find him a suitable bride at all? However great a person is, every person faces some perplexity or complexity in life that they themselves are unable to unravel. It is at these moments that we all need someone more wiser than us to step in and give us a little path forward. Similarly, in Dasharatha's case, as he's sitting on his throne and pondering what to do, one of the minister's guards actually walked in and said, "Oh my dear king, the great sage Vishwamitra has arrived at the palace doors. May we let him in?" Now Vishwamitra has a history that no one obstructs him because he can get very irritable if that's the case. So Dasharatha sprang from his chair with all his ministers and ran to the door to receive Vishwamitra, brought him in, gave him a seat of honor, washed his feet, offered him something to eat, gave him some water to drink. While Vishwamitra is sitting down, Dasharatha is fanning Vishwamitra and said, "Oh great sage, your feet enter into whoever's home, that home becomes sanctified. Now that you are here, what is it that we can do for you? Ask whatever you want, and that shall be yours." And Vishwamitra said, "Out there in a place called Siddhashram, my friends and I have been performing a great fire sacrifice that has been constantly disturbed and desecrated by the demons appearing in the sky exactly at the time when we are about to conclude it. And they laugh hysterically and they throw blood, urine, stool, mucus into our sacred fire sacrifice, completely destroyed and go away. We have to start all over again. It's become very, very painful. We need your help." Dasharatha thought, "Oh sage Vishwamitra, you yourself are so great that you can utter a curse and finish them off." Vishwamitra said, "All that's gone, I'm retired now. You are the king, it's your business to protect the sages in the forests." So Dasharatha said, "Yes, let's go. I will go personally and I will bring my 4 divisions of armies, the elephants, the horses, the infantry, cavalry, all of them. We will go and help you out." Vishwamitra said, "No, I don't want you to come. I want your son, that 12-year-old boy, Rama, to come with me." Rama, he's only 12 years old. How can he go with you? And in this heartbroken state, he told Vishwamitra,
"ऊनषोडश वर्षो मे रामो राजीवलोचनः। ऊनषोडश वर्षो मे रामो राजीवलोचनः। न युद्धयोग्यतामस्य पश्यामि सह राक्षसैः। अहं वेद्मि महात्मानं रामं सत्यपराक्रमम्। अहं वेद्मि महात्मानं रामं सत्यपराक्रमम्। वसिष्ठो अपि महातेजा ये चे मे तपसि स्थिताः।
My son Rama, he is not even fit to go out to fight. Una Shodasha. Shodasha is 16. Una means a quarter less than 16. That's 12. He's a young boy. He doesn't even have even the early beginning of a mustache, you can't even tell if that's a boy or a girl. He's very tender. My son, Rajiva Lochana, the boy with eyes that resemble a fully blossomed lotus petal. No yodhyum pashyami. I cannot see how he, such a young boy, will fight with these mighty demons and rakshasas. Hidden in the meaning is, my boy, even according to the conduct of war or the rules for engagement in war, they have to be minimum 16 years. He's only 12. And Rajiva Lochana, the eyes like a lotus petal. Lotuses bloom when the sun rises, and lotuses close when the sun sets, as an indication to say, my boy is a very good boy. As soon as the sun sets, he goes to bed. He doesn't hide under his bedsheet watching some cartoons in the night. He goes to sleep at sunset. The Rakshasas, they only become energized at night after sunset. That's when their all energy is so strong. How can this boy fight? And na pashyami, I cannot see any way how my son can fight these demons. Vishwamitra said to him, Aham vedmi mahatmanam. That's the next verse. Aham vedmi. I know your son is a very great person. Now imagine, if you have a child, some stranger comes to your home and tells you, I know your child better than you do. You would say, get out of my house. What are you talking? So he says, Aham vedmi mahatmana. I know that your son is a very great soul. And it's not just me. You see this Vasishtha, your guru, he also knows. And all the sages that are sitting in your court, they also know. It's not just me. So then this whole dialogue, our great teachers unravel and decipher it for us. In the great Vedas, especially Purusha Sukta and other Vedas, there is a phrase, and when I say it, some of you might recognize. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasastu Pare. The Vedas say that Vedaham, I know that personality, the great, the Supreme Lord, who's the greatest of all beings and is effulgent like golden color. So Vishwamitra said the same thing in a different way, because he recognizes that Rama is the Supreme Lord playing the role of a little boy in Dasharatha's home. But Dasharatha, because of fraternal love for his boy, said, what? God? This boy? No, he's my son. He's very delicate. He goes to bed early. So he said, Me Rama, my boy. So this, anytime a person says mine, they say that in the Vedic philosophy, there are two things that peg a person down from any progress, spiritually speaking. And the two are these words, I and mine. I means I'm having a wrong sense of identity. Instead of me knowing that I'm a spiritual being, I think of myself as this carnal body made with flesh, bones and mucus. And I see distinctions and differences because I see different bodies, different colors, different species. But in all of these exists the living being, the living spark. Dasharatha did not know, Vishwamitra knows. Vishwamitra knows. That's the difference between an enlightened person and one who is not. So this dialogue went back and forth, and Dasharatha was not willing to let his son go. So Vishwamitra became upset and told Dasharatha, All right, stay at home, be happy with your family. I don't care, I'm walking out. Then Vasishtha intervened and told Dasharatha, when this great sage has come here, there must be some divine purpose. You and I may not be aware. I advise you to please let your son go. Dasharatha's heart was shattered, and yet he let Rama go, but he also sent Lakshmana, the other brother, to accompany Rama. So Vishwamitra set out towards the forest, and these two little boys who had never gone out of the palace, if they did go, they went on palanquins, they were always carried. They walked out. This is the first time they're going out without their parents, without a royal entourage, without comforts, without any luxuries. They are walking on the street right behind Vishwamitra.
Adyardayojanam gatva saraiva dakshine tate. Adyardayojanam gatva saraiva dakshine tate. Rameti madhuram vanim Vishwamitro abhyabhashata.
Adyordha yojanam gatva. Vishwamitra was walking ahead. These two boys are following him, and he did not talk to them, they did not talk to him, and they walked for 12 miles. Now imagine a 12-year-old boy, and he's following somebody. He didn't ask, are we there yet? How long is this going to take? Where are we going? I'm hungry. Can we stop for a few minutes? Is there a bathroom here? All the things that could possibly happen. These two boys didn't say a word. He didn't speak to them. They didn't say a word. After 12 miles, Vishwamitra was so deeply touched by their sense of discipline that he turned around and very lovingly, the verse says, Rama. He spoke the words Rama iti madhuram vani. In such a sweet tone, he said Rama. And the teachers explained to us that this is the first principle, that to become a disciple, it is important to have discipline. Rama and Lakshmana were being tested by Vishwamitra. Are they fit for what I am going to take them for? And they showed the sense of discipline, the sense of being chaste to their teacher, that he was so pleased. And he said, Rama. In his mind, although he's taking them to Siddhashrama, he has a different plan altogether. The plan is to somehow take him to where Sita is. That's going to come later. That plan hasn't been spoken about just yet. Ultimately, he wants to make sure that Rama is married to Sita. There is a famous saying, it's called Subhashita, well-spoken word about marriage. It says, Kanya varayate rupam. In a marriage, there are different beings. The bride, the bride's mother, the bride's father, the bride's relatives, and everyone else who comes for the wedding, friends and other well-wishers. So the verse says, Kanya varayate rupam. The bride is interested to know, is the groom handsome or not? That's all she's concerned about. When we stand together, will the pictures look good? Mata vittam. The bride's mother is interested to know, how much does he earn? Does he have a stable job? Can he take care of a family? That's her concern. Pita shrutam. The father of the bride wants to know, is that fellow educated or not? Does he have enough culture from education that he knows how to conduct himself in the world? Bandhavaha kulam icchanti. As far as the relatives are concerned, they want to know if the groom comes from a good family or not. So they will, especially in India, when there is a potential match being discussed, relatives will talk to other relatives, who will talk to other relatives, and they will find at least 4 generations of error-free bridegroom. Is everything okay? Oh, in that family there is some issue with properties. That means this boy may become entangled in a property dispute. Oh, that family there is some issue there, we don't know. So there's so much, the relatives are interested to know that the groom comes from a good family. Itare janaha means people like me who go for wedding, they're interested in one thing, Mrishtannam. They want to know what's on the menu for the wedding. So Vishwamitra has to make Rama eligible for marriage. Because if he goes to where Sita is and they will ask, who is this boy? He's Rama. Okay, very good. He's good looking enough. Whose son is he? He's the son of Dasharatha. Oh, that king. Very good. That king is very accomplished. What has the boy accomplished? Nothing as yet. He's applying for a job. Just still applying. We want to make sure that he has a job. So before Vishwamitra can take Rama there, he has to make sure that Rama's resume is built quite well. And those who are Indians in software, you know, you need a consultant who will embellish your resume a little bit. So this is the purpose for taking him before going to where Sita is. Another important principle is that a student called Brahmachari should become well qualified so that he can take care of himself and all the challenges life will throw at him. So it says Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan. He has to live in the ashram of the teacher. Dantaha, which means he has to live with all his senses controlled. Gurur Hitam, he lives simply as a carrying out the orders of his guru as a menial student. Whatever the teacher says, stand up, he stands up, sit down, because discipline is required. I can give you a near example is, how many of you have seen the movie Karate Kid? Okay. In the Karate Kid, when he goes to his karate master, he never teaches him karate in the beginning. He teaches him all sorts of things. Pick up that jacket, put it there, drop that thing, pick that one up, pick that water bottle. And the boy gets frustrated. What is this? I came here to learn karate. First is discipline. Discipline and respect for the teacher before any education is imparted. Acharan dasavat nicha. One should consider oneself very, very small and menial in front of the great teachers. Such humility evokes within the teacher to give all the secrets of great knowledge to his students. So Vishwamitra was very, very pleased. And that night they reached the banks of the river Ganga. And he said, enough of walking today. You boys must be tired. We will rest here today and tomorrow we will continue. So these two boys who were only used to sleeping on royal beds made with gold and silver and studded with diamonds and emeralds are sleeping on the bare ground, exposed to the elements. Vishwamitra woke up the next morning far earlier than them. And then he woke the two boys up. He woke up Sri Rama saying this. This is a very, very famous verse in India that is sung at the crack of dawn in pretty much every household, at least every South Indian household for sure.
कौसल्या सुप्रजा रामा पूर्वा सन्ध्या वर्तते उत्तिष्ठ नरसार्दूला कर्तव्यं दैवमान्निकम्.
Kausalya Supraja. Oh, the beloved son of Kausalya, Ramachandra's mother. Purva Sandhya, the early morning hours have arrived. Uttishta, please wake up. There is a lot to be done. There's a lot of duties to perform. Our Vaishnava Acharyas tell us that this one verse has 108 meanings. I'm looking at your face. I'm not going to explain the 108. Don't worry. I only know a few. But we'll touch on a few. He's the son of Dasharatha, but he's being woken up as the son of Kausalya. Instead of the father's name, Vishwamitra is waking him up with his mother's name. So there's an external meaning and an internal meaning. The external meaning is, when Vishwamitra said to Dasharatha, send your son with me, what did Dasharatha say? No, I cannot send my son. He's too dear to me. I cannot let him go so that he can do some benefit for the world. No, he has to be with me. But the mother Kausalya said, my dear son, go with the great sage. So for eternity, Vishwamitra made sure that Ramachandra is referred to as Kausalya Supraja, because he was upset with the father. The internal meaning, Kausalya means one who gives the world kushalam. Kushalam means well-being. So Kausalya Supraja means, oh Ramachandra, that person who will roam the earth and make sure that every person, every being he meets, their well-being is confirmed. Supraja. Supraja means very darling son, but in this case Supraja means very well born. He's born in the lineage of the Ikshvakus. And the word Rama means the source of all pleasure. Actually, there's two meanings. Ramati iti Rama. That person who's always satisfied and internally happy, regardless of what is going on in the external world for them. And that's the story of Rama. One day, he was told you'll become the king or the prince regent. Few hours later, he was told you're going to be banished to the forest for 14 years. But for Ramachandra, it didn't matter. His smile always was there, whether it was good news or bad news. So, Ramyati iti Rama. But anybody who meets Rama also becomes very happy. Ramayati iti Rama. So, whatever problems one may have in one's life, if one can utter the name Rama, then that name brings within one or awakens within one a great sense of joy. There were 3 sages. They were sitting in a cave and they were meditating for many, many thousands of years. A person saw that they were in the cave, came up to them, offered their respects and said to them, I have a question. Yes, what is your question? I found that in my life there are quite a few problems. I've been challenged by health, I've been challenged by wealth, I've been challenged by the weather, I've been challenged by this thing and that thing. My friends are fighting with me, my family is fighting with each other, this is not working, that's not working. What is the solution? So one of the sages said, please chant the name Rama 3 times. Rama, Rama, Rama. The other 2 sages who were sitting next to him opened their eyes, got up and said to the first sage, we are leaving. He said, why? What did I say wrong? I said that was in the scriptures that you say Rama's name 3 times. So the other 2 told him, after thousands of years of meditation, you have not come to understand the glory of the name of Rama. Even once is enough. Why 3 times? So you're still immature and we're walking away. Even once is sufficient. So as Vishwamitra takes Rama and Lakshmana through one river bank to another river bank, walking miles and miles over a few days, he had promised Dasaratha he will return Rama and Lakshmana back within 6 days, but 2 days later they reach Siddhashram. And as they are walking for 2 full days or more, Vishwamitra is narrating stories from the great histories in the Puranas. And there's a long list. The reason being that a student must hear from his teacher. And within these stories are all these lessons for life. How to be a king, how to be a husband, how to be a brother, a friend, a son, how to live one's life, how to be in harmony with nature, how to deal with one's own internal conflicts and the upheavals and the ebbs and the flows. All this is taught so that the student learns how to fulfill the purpose of life, to become self-realized within this lifetime. So Vishwamitra is teaching him. So finally they arrive at Siddhashram. And in Siddhashram,
Tvam chaiva narashardula sahasmabhe gamishyasi adbhutam dhanuratnam cha tatra tadrashtum marhasi nasya deva na gandharva nasura na charakshasa kartumaropanam shakta na kathanchana manushaha.
these 2 boys stood guard. And as Vishwamitra is performing his yagya, Tataka, the great wild demoness, and her 2 sons, Subahu and Maricha, started attacking. And Rama and Lakshmana took care of them. They killed Tataka. Maricha was hit with an arrow so strong that he went and fell 800 miles away, and another arrow finished Subahu. So Maricha was given H1 visa for a short while, which he will come back because visa will expire. Now that they have killed these demons, Vishwamitra is very happy, and now he tells them, I am going to take you back to Mithila. And the boys are, Mithila? I thought we were going back to Ayodhya. No, in Mithila, I want you to see something. There is a special event that is being conducted by the king of Mithila by the name Janaka. And Janaka has a mighty celestial bow that I want you to see. Now, young boys, warrior boys, princes, when you tell them there's a new toy, that's the most attractive thing for them. Oh, toy. Because if Vishwamitra said there's a girl there, like, girls. I'm not interested in girls. But he told them there's a toy there. That there's a great bow that I want you to see. And this bow, he says, Adbhuta Dhanum. Adbhuta Dhana. This is a very, very special bow that is studded with jewels and is very massive and heavy. And I want you to see it because I think you'll really like it. And when they reach Mithila, the news goes to King Janaka that Vishwamitra is here. So like Dasharatha, Janaka also jumped out of his seat, came running to the gates to receive Vishwamitra, washed his feet, and as he is looking at Vishwamitra, his eyes go to those 2 boys right behind him. He said, I've never seen anyone so handsome. Who are these boys? But before that, he tells Vishwamitra, the what we heard, thank you for coming here. I'm about to perform my yagya. There is a wonderful bow that I want you to see because it's very famous, but I'm curious. I'm curious, who are those two boys behind you?
इमौ कुमारौ भद्रं ते देवतुल्यपराक्रमौ गजसिंहगतिवीरौ शार्दूलवृषभोपमौ पद्मपत्रविशालाक्षौ खड्गतूणीधरुर्धरौ अश्विनाविवरूपेण समुपस्थितयौवनौ यदृच्छैव गां प्राप्तौ देवलोकादिवा अमरौ कथं पद्यामिह प्राप्तौ किमर्थं कस्य वा मुने.
O Vishwamitra Muni, Katham Padbhyam Iha Praptau. What is the reason, Kimartham, that you have brought these two boys here? Katham, how, why, Kasya, who are these boys? When I look at them, my eyes cannot blink. Imau Kumaro, these two boys, Devatulya Parakramau, they seem like they have the chivalry and the charm of celestial beings. Gaja, Simha, Gati, Viro, when they walk, it looks like an elephant, a lion, a tiger and a bull are walking. These are all the signs of princely indicators. That when he walks like a lion, lions when they walk majestically, and once in a while they look behind them. So this great persons, when they walk with such confidence, and there's no one who can match them. Gaja, when they walk like elephants, that they can walk without any obstructions. When elephants walk through a forest, they trample everything on their path because nobody can obstruct massive elephants as they walk. So they're powerful. Shardula, although they're very powerful, they have steps that are very delicate, like the steps of a tiger. And they stand like strong bulls. So I want to know, yet while they have these indications of being so powerful, Padma Patra, their eyes seem so delicate like the petals of a lotus flower. And they are carrying swords and bow and arrows. And they look like the Ashwini Kumaras, who are the most handsome beings in the heavenly realms, as if they have come down here. Why are they here? What is the reason you've brought them here? So when he asked, Vishwamitra said, I brought these two boys to see the bow that you have in your kingdom. So Janaka said, oh yeah, why not? I will bring the bow for these boys to see, but let me tell you the story of why this bow is in my family. He said, many generations ago, Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu were given each a bow that was crafted by Vishwakarma, the architect of the gods. And these two bows are so mighty, no one knew how to use them. And so the great demigods had this idea that why don't we have a celebrity match between Vishnu and Shiva? People go to see celebrity games, and we want to see how they fight with these bows. So Lord Shiva agreed, Lord Vishnu agreed, and they came face to face. And when they stood, the crowd was cheering them. Lord Vishnu picked up his bow, and even before he shot an arrow, he just uttered, "Hum." and by which the bow in Shiva's hand cracked. So Shiva said, I'm not going to fight with this. And he gave that bow away to one of my ancestors by the name Deva Mridha. And from that time on, this bow of Lord Shiva is being celebrated in our family. Every king in every generation worships it very reverentially, and we pass it down from one generation to another generation. It's a very, very famous bow, the bow of Lord Shiva. Now, I'm going to show you that bow on a condition. If this little boy Rama will pick it up, I will give my daughter Sita in marriage to him, because that's the condition I have put. Many kings have come. They have tried, but they can't even, forget about lifting it, they can't even shake it a little bit. So I'm wondering if this boy is up to such a challenge. Bring the bow! So 500 strong, muscular, Mr. Universe type guys pushed a cart with 18 wheels like a semi, as they are huffing and puffing and sweating, and brought that bow right there where Vishwamitra is standing with Rama and Lakshmana.
भूतलादुतिता सातु व्यवर्धता ममात्मजा भूतलादुतिता सातु व्यवर्धता ममात्मजा वीर्यशुल्केति मे कन्या स्थापिते यमयो निजा यद्यस्य धनुषो
Twice he said, my daughter Sita is Ayonija. Yoni means a womb. Ayonija means one who is born without appearing through a womb, because she had appeared to him from the ground. So she is a very, very special, perhaps even celestial being, and I'm trying to find a good match for her. If this boy can lift that bow, I will give my daughter. Is it possible? Is that something this boy can do? What do you think, Vishwamitra? Can Rama lift this bow? So then, that bow, since it was brought here, Vishwamitra smiled and turned to Sri Ramachandra, the little boy, and said to him,
विश्वामित्रस्तु धर्मात्मा श्रुत्वा जनकभाषितं वत्स राम धनुः पश्य इति राघवमब्रवीत्.
Vishwamitra, Dharmatma, a very, very great person, heard what Janaka had to say, turned to Sri Rama and said, Vatsa Rama Dhanurpashya. Literally it means, my dear little boy Rama, look at the bow. Now our great teachers take every word and give us so much meaning from these that I'm going to share a few. So he said Vatsa. Vatsa means, literally it means it's a calf, but he says Vatsa is also used for a small little delicate child. So he said Vatsa, that Ramachandra is only a small boy. Because the great demigods tried to lift this bow and they were unsuccessful. So Rama, Vishwamitra has love for this boy. So he says, Rama, be careful. Vatsa, be careful. Don't hurt yourself. Another meaning he says, Vatsa, little boy, oh Ramachandra, in a previous incarnation, you came like a little boy Vamana. And when Bali Maharaj said, yes, I will give you offerings, you became so mighty that with 2 steps you covered the entire universe. This is not the time for such another exhibition. Vatsa, remain a small boy, please. In Lord Narayana or Vishnu's chest is a little marking. There's 3 little whitish hair, and that's called Shri Vatsa. That's the marking by which you know that this is Vishnu. If he ever appears in front of us, you should look. Does he have this little marking on his chest? Shri Vatsa. So he's saying, Vatsa, Shri will immediately come to you in a few minutes, and you will be known as the Supreme Lord, Shri, the one who has Shri Vatsa. Then he said, Vatsa Rama. Generally, Vatsa is the word used for the youngest person in the assembly. So in that assembly, who's the youngest person? Lakshmana. So when he says Vatsa, Dhanur Pashya, look at the bow, what if Lakshmana stands up? And what if Lakshmana lifts the bow? Sita cannot be married to him. So before Lakshmana can say, yes sir, he says, Vatsa Rama, it's for you. Lakshmana, no role for you just yet. In a work called Hanumat Natakam, which is a Ramayana written by Hanuman or spoken by Hanuman, apparently in this conversation, when the boys are standing and they have not lifted the bow yet, Janaka asks, really? Nirviryam Urvitale? On this entire earth, is there no hero that can lift this bow? So Lakshmana is becoming very angry. How dare you speak like that in the presence of my brother Rama? So before Lakshmana can stand up, because Lakshmana, you say anything to Rama, Lakshmana doesn't like it. Before he stands up, Vishwamitra says, Vatsa, Rama, you're the one who's supposed to go forward. Actually, Vishwamitra should have said Veera Rama, because he's the hero. But his love for Rama is so profuse that instead of looking at Rama as the Supreme Lord, he's now looking at him as a young boy. Along with what is called Aishwarya, this Aishwarya is completely hidden. It is eclipsed by Vatsalya, this paternal love for Rama. And so says, Vatsa, Rama, Dhanur Pashya. He says, I know you can lift the bow. In fact, you are such a hero, Ramachandra, that you carry the entire universe. So lifting a bow is not a thing. In fact, it's a child's play for you. Therefore, Vatsa, Rama. He says, Vatsa, Rama, Dhanu. This bow actually belongs to you, because you're Rama, Kodandapani. It is time for you to look at this bow and pick it up, because it is for your glory. And then he said to him, Vatsa Rama Dhanur Pashya. The Guru is very careful. He didn't say, go pick it up. What if he can't pick it up? What if Rama gets crushed under that mighty bow? Right? That's the worry, as a fatherly love he has for his son. So he told him, Dhanur Pashya. Just look at the bow. But Ramachandra understood what Vishwamitra is saying. Sometimes we also, in a casual conversation, if some problem needs to be solved, we tell someone, go look into the problem, which is basically saying, go solve it. So he said, Vatsa Rama Dhanur Pashya. Now, another meaning for Pashya, in any one of us, we have these senses: eyes, nose, ears, tongue, skin, hands, legs. And each of these senses can only perform one function. The eyes can only see, they cannot smell. The ears can only hear, they cannot see, etc. But in the Supreme Lord, Shri Vishnu, the verse from Brahma Samhita says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. that the Supreme Lord's senses are so evolved, they're not material senses, that the eyes can perform the function of the hands and the ears and any other sense. They are completely full in such a way that they can perform any function. So just by saying Pashya, it also means lift the bow. Now, he only said Pashya, look at it. He didn't say lift it. But that's what Rama is going to do. He's going to lift the bow. Now, he is an excellent student, Sri Rama. So when his teacher said, look at the bow, Rama walked up to that bow, offered his respects.
Pashyatam nrupasahasranam bahunam raghunandanaha aropayatsya dharmatma salilam yivataddanuhu aropayitva dharmatma purayamasya taddanuhu taptabhanja danurmadhye narasreshto mahayashaha tasya shabdo mahanasi nirgata samanishwanaha bhumikampascha sumahan parvatasyeva dhiryataha.
Pashyatam nrupasahasranam, thousands of warriors, princes, kings had all assembled, and they were aghast how a little boy is walking up to this bow. And while they are watching, Raghunandana, this little boy in the race of Raghu, went and picked up the bow as easily as a boy picks up a mushroom. What effort is required? And then he put the bow on the ground and shook it. All the vermilion, kumkuma, sandalwood powder and everything, the flowers, all fell to the floor. And as if lifting was not enough, Ramachandra bent the bow, reached down, pulled the string and tied up the bow. He's doing far more than what was asked. And then lifted the bow and pulled it all the way up to his head. The broke right in the middle. And the sound with which it broke was so thundering that the entire kingdom, the earth shook, the mountains, there was like an earthquake, and everybody in the assembly except 4 fell unconscious. Vishwamitra, Janaka, Rama, Lakshmana, they were standing. Everybody else became unconscious. And they had never seen or heard such a sight. Forget about lifting the bow. 500 men couldn't push it. A little boy broke it, shattered it right in the middle. Slowly, they all came back to consciousness, and Janaka stood with his jaw on the ground like, oh. Our teachers, they celebrate this event because it's a fantastic universal event, and they give explanations of how or why the bow was broken and what all consequences happened in the universe when the bow was broken. So in a work called Udara Raghavam, the writer tells us that, remember, this bow belonged to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is sitting atop the mountain Kailasa. So he was sitting, Parvati was sitting next to him, and when this bow was broken and the earth shook, Kailasa also shook, and Parvati became scared, and she came and ran and embraced Lord Shiva. So Shiva, instead of becoming angry that his bow was broken, became so happy and said to Rama, "Thank you. I got an embrace from Parvati." That's really nice. In Hanumat Natakam, Hanuman says that Rama was standing there and the condition was to lift the bow and maybe string it. And so he will become eligible to marry Sita, but as soon as he broke the bow, 3 young women became eligible for marriage. The first woman who became eligible is Shri. Shri is Sita Devi, because that was the condition by Janaka. Then poetically is described, the other young woman is Hri, H-R-I. Hri means bashfulness or shame or embarrassment. And all the thousands of kings who had come there to compete to see if they can win the hand of Sita, their heads hung low in embarrassment. So Hri went and married them. That's the meaning, that they became embarrassed. The third young woman that was eligible for marriage is Kirti. Kirti means fame. Fame is always looking, who should I embrace such that person will become famous. And Kirti saw that there is no other person in the universe other than Ramachandra who is eligible. So she became eligible to become married to Sri Ramachandra. This bow in the Upanishads is glorified. They say that the mantra or the sound Om is actually visualized as a bow that has 3 parts to it. A, U and Ma. These are the sounds that make up Om. So this bow, the upper part is A, the lower part is Ma, and the string that holds them together is U. And Mundaka Upanishad and Mandukya Upanishad both say, Pranavo hi dhanuhu, sharo hi atma. That the soul is an arrow that is meant to be mounted on this mantra called Om. And Brahma tal laksham uchyate. The target for that arrow, the soul, is to go meet the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Brahma tal laksham. Apramatteva vedhavyam. Apramatteva, without being distracted, without being easily taken away from the path. One should remain focused on such a path, and the purpose of life is to meet the Supreme Lord Sri Vishnu. And to be able for that arrow to meet its target, that bow has to be pulled all the way back to the ear. This is where the Guru's instructions enter the ear, so the person becomes determined that this is the goal of my life, and that arrow meets its target. And by breaking the bow, the significance is a significance of self-realization. The string is Sita Devi, the pleasure potency of the Lord, who brings Akara, that is Vishnu, to come and meet Makara, the living being, because of the string being pulled. She is the one who brings the living entity to the Supreme Lord. It is never that the entity goes to the Lord. The Lord has to come and meet the living being. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you never find a self-realized soul who becomes liberated just going on their own. Someone from that realm, the spiritual world, comes, receives and takes them back. So that is the significance of this bow and why Ramachandra has to break it. There is a more worldly reason as well. Ramachandra did not like this condition, that you should lift the bow. He said, I lift the bow. What if in the future someone else will come and lift the bow and say, oh, Sita should be married to me. So he broke the bow that no one else will ever lift it again. It's done. Once and for all, Sita is my consort, that's it. It's also to tell Janaka, don't come up with these kinds of competitions. When Ramachandra was lifting this bow, and we heard that he was shaking the bow, and all the vermilion, the sandalwood powder, the flowers, they were all falling, and that scene caused such ecstatic symptoms in Vishwamitra that his hair was standing on end, because he has never seen something like this in the universe. And as Ramachandra is tying the knot on the bow, As these knots were being tightened, this poet says, in Lanka and in Kishkindha, for Mandodari and Tara, the knots in their Mangal Sutra were becoming loosened. Which means it's a poetic way of saying that it's an indication, a signal that Vali and Ravana and all the Rakshasas will die. So as these knots are being tightened, the Mangal Sutra knots are becoming loosened. Janaka had asked, is there no Veera on this planet? So Tulsidas Goswami in his Ramcharitmanas says, Ramachandra showed Janaka that he himself is the embodiment of Virya, that he is the hero of all heroes in the entire history of humanity. Okay, the condition was met. Janaka said, please take my daughter as your wife. Rama said, oh, I just came here to look at the bow. My teacher said, look at the bow. I broke it. What is this marriage business? No. And anyway, I'm not going to get married without the permission of my father. He's sitting in Ayodhya. So news was sent by Janaka. Very quickly, please go, bring Dasharath Maharaj to come here and tell him that the wedding has been decided between Rama and Sita. So when the news, remember the story started with Dasharatha sitting and thinking, how will I get my son married? So this news was the most joyful news for him. Dasharatha prepared, got all the jewels and elephants bedecked with gold and diamonds, and they were carrying all the gifts for the wedding party. And on the day of wedding, Ramachandra, the most handsomest man in creation, standing. Janaka brings Sita into the wedding area. Now, Janaka has another daughter. So the discussion was, I have a daughter whom Urmila, and since Lakshmana is also here, let's do buy one, get one. It's the promotional time. Why don't we get Urmila also married to Lakshmana? So it was agreed upon. Now, Janaka had another brother, Yudhajit. I forget his name, it will come up. He said, I have two daughters. Dasharatha has two more sons, Bharata and Shatrughna. Why don't we conduct all the four marriages at the same time? It will help in cost savings. No, that's not what he said. So Ramachandra is standing and Janaka brings Sita to come and stand in front of him. So this shloka is going to tell us how Sita appears. This is the first time anybody has seen Sita in the entire Ramayana, and Sita has just arrived.
ततः सीतां समानीयां सर्व आभरणभूषितां समक्षमग्ने संस्थाप्य राघवा अभिमुखे तदा अब्रवीज्जनको राजा कौसल्यानन्दवर्धनम्.
Tata Sita Samaniya. Aniya means to bring. Samaniya means carried. Rama and Lakshmana walked the forest. She's a princess. She comes on a palanquin, carried by many, many servants. She's a princess. And Sarva Abharana Bhushita. She's decorated with all varieties of dazzling diamonds and corals and pearls and rubies and emeralds and cat's eye and this one and that one, and not just the neck but the ears, the hair, the arms, the shoulders, the wrists, the toes, the ankles, they're all decorated, and she's wearing this dazzling silken cloth. Samaksham Agne Samsthapya. There is a fire because in the Vedic system, any promises, any contracts are signed in the presence of fire, because fire is the messenger that takes whatever contract is signed is notarized by Vishnu. So Agni is the one who says that contract was made and the promises were made. So Sita has been brought Samsthapya Raghava Abhimuke, face to face with Sri Ramachandra. Yet in the wedding ceremony there is a curtain. The groom and bride don't see each other yet. Like in the Western weddings there is a veil. So the groom can't see fully. There is a veil between the two. But she has come here. At this time, Janaka spoke to the groom, Ramachandra. So he has to say something to his potential or going to be son-in-law very soon.
Iyam Sita mama sutta sahadharmachari tava. Iyam Sita mama sutta sahadharmachari tava. Praticcha chainam bhadram te panim grunishva paninam. Praticcha chainam bhadram te panim grunishva paninam. Pativrata mahabhaga chayevanugata sada ityuktva prakshipatraja mantraputam jalam tada.
Iyam Sita. This is Sita. So, in a very direct meaning is she is standing right here. Indirect meaning is who you are seeing is not an ordinary person. She was not born like any one of us. She appeared from the earth. So she is very, very special. Another meaning is not only she bedecked with jewels, she herself is so effulgent that Rama had to close his eyes and he's wondering, they're all talking of Sita, where is she? So Dasharatha is saying, open your eyes, she's right here. Through the glare, she's standing right there in front of you. Ramachandra, you, although are the Supreme Lord, in this incarnation you consider yourself a human being. This Sita will also consider herself similar to you, although she has appeared in a divine way. Now, there can be many Sitas, right? Like in this room, there can be perhaps more than one John, there can be more than one Peter, there can be more than one Hari, there can be more than one Jyotsna. So Ramachandra can say, oh, which Sita? Which Sita? So Janaka is saying, don't look here and there. This Sita, right in front of you. This Sita, my daughter. And he says, Iyam Sita mama sutta. She is my daughter. Remember, I had said that for any person on the path of self-realization, there are two words that are anchors, pegs, that don't allow progress spiritually. And those two were, and mine. Janaka is a person who is free of I and mine conception. That's how he got the name Videha, a person who has no bodily conception of life. Videha. And such a person says, Mama Sutta, my daughter. Because even if one is self-realized, the sense of mine and I am a servant of the Lord and the Lord is mine, is a very deep spiritual realization. So Janaka is saying, Mama Sutta. See, Dasharatha performed many sacrifices to achieve Rama. Putra Kameshti Yoga, Ashwamedha Yajna, so much. And the Ashwamedha Yajna takes 1 year of preparation. Dasharatha had to lie on the floor for 1 year, fast for many days, perform a yajna. It takes so much money, so much organization. But Sita, I didn't even begin the process of yajna. I was just plowing the land to prepare the place and Sita appeared. So she is far more merciful than you. Mama Sita, my daughter. She, because she has come from earth, possesses the qualities of earth. That is very, very tolerant and forgiving. And these qualities will actually come in your aid, Sri Ramachandra. Actually, when you perform a yajna, when you offer ghee and other oblations into the fire, you're meant to do it in a selfless way. So you say, Idam Vishnave Namaha. This is for Lord Vishnu. Idam na mama. It's not for me. But here, Janaka is saying, Iyam Sita Mama Suta. She is my daughter, and I'm giving my daughter to you, Rama. And he says, Saha Dharmachari Tava. She will always follow the path of Dharma along with you. So remember, Ramachandra, if you ever have this doubt, will she be able to follow? Perhaps she will even do it better than you. And Praticha Chainam Bhadramte, and he tells Ramachandra, Chayeva Anugata Sada. She will always follow you like a shadow. Now shadows are integral to, as soon as I stand, there is a light source, there has to be a shadow. That is inseparable from you. But a shadow sometimes is behind us, sometimes next to us, and sometimes in front of us, depending on where the light source is. So if the enlightenment is there, Ramachandra, and you're walking towards Dharma, she's always there right behind you as a trusted partner. Sometimes in life, you may need a counsel, you may need a friend who will not hesitate in telling you what is right, what is wrong. So she will be on your side once in a while, tapping you on the shoulder, giving you good advice. And sometimes she may be in front of you, especially when danger arises. She can be very protective and stand in front of you to face the danger first, even before you face it. And this is Sita's promise later. Agrataste Gamishyami. I will go ahead of you, and that's why she goes to Lanka first before Ramachandra goes. So this is the kind of daughter or wife, my daughter, I'm giving you as your wife. She will be there to share all your joys, all your difficulties, all your successes, and anything that seems challenging in your life to you. So please hold her hand tightly. Bhadramte, may all blessings come to both of you. Iti Chutva Prakshipatam Rajam. Saying this, the great king sprinkled sacred waters, consecrating and making the wedding fully confirmed at that point. He says, Pativrata, my daughter will be is a very chaste wife for you. The poets and teachers raise a question. How does the father know that his daughter is a chaste wife even before she became a wife? Only after marriage you can tell chaste or not, how they remain together with each other, the sense of loyalty and friendship. But this is such a prediction that Janaka is making about the greatness of Sita Devi. So as he is sprinkling this water on the bond of marriage between Rama and Sita, all the celestial beings collected in the sky because they wanted to witness something that they have never seen. So all of you have flower petals with you? Not yet? Okay, we're going to pass on some flower petals to you. And we're going to do what the great gods in the sky, the great sages, the kings, the guests, they all had assembled for the wedding. The verse says, we will sing it once so you can become familiar what the verse says, and then we'll ask you to do the same. So please hold on to the flower petals in both your hands. And while Janaka Maharaja is sprinkling sacred waters on the bond of marriage, Valmiki tells us,
साधु साध्विति देवानां ऋषीणां वदतां तदा देवदुन्दुभिर्निर्घोषः पुष्पवर्षो महानभूत्.
The gods, sages, guests, they all became so thrilled by this union of Rama and Sita that they started shouting in the sky, Sadhu, Sadhu, which means excellent, excellent. So we would like all of you to please stand up and collectively, not one by one, because this is a shower of flowers. It's not a trickle or one drop, not a faucet in some remote corner of US or India where water comes on one drop at a time. Let it be a deluge. So all of you come closer to altar and offer the flower petals as she is singing, and loudly. Okay, we're going to try once. Can you all loudly say Sadhu, Sadhu? This is like how you say in your marriage, you're not happy. You should say this loudly because this is the marriage of Sita and Ramachandra. So try again once loudly. Sadhu! Sadhu!
Sadhu
Shower flowers together.
Devanam Rishinam Vadatam Tada Devadundubirnirghoshaha Pushpavarsho Mahanabhut. Sadhu Sadviti Devanam Rishinam Vadatam Tada Devadundubirnirghoshaha Pushpavarsho Mahanabhut. Sadhu Sadviti Devanam Rishinam Vadatam Tada Devadundubirnirghoshaha Pushpavarsho Mahanabhut. Sadhu Sadviti Devanam Rishinam Vadatam Tada Devadundubirnirghoshaha Pushpavarsho Mahanabhut.
Sri Ramachandra got married to Sita Devi, Lakshmana got married to Urmila, Bharata married Mandavi, Shatrughna married Shrutakirti. And thus the marriage ceremony of Sita and Rama, a very, very important episode that we may, as we are throwing flowers and ending this, ask Ramachandra, please hold my hand as well. That is our prayer. Please Ramachandra, hold my hand as well. And please take me to be in your eternal service.
Pavanajastuti patra Pavanacharitra Ravi Soma Bhavanetra Ramaniya Gatra Sita Kalyanam Vaibhogame Rama Kalyanam कल्याण वैभोग में रामा कल्याण वैभोग
Thank you. You've been a wonderful, wonderful audience. I'm very grateful that you've stayed. I can see from here that you are engaged. We're very grateful to you. Whatever we know is by the grace of our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our individual gurus, and the wonderful tradition of teachers that have spanned thousands and thousands of years. Shri Shri Sita Rama Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sarvam Shri Rama Arpanamastu. Harihi Om Tat Sat.